Hi, I'm Regulator Barbie, the CEO of Regalytics. Welcome to this week's Regulatory Roundup Halloween edition. The topic of the week is blockchain use cases, and these alerts aren't scary. They're actually kind of light and happy. Starting with NIST and their recent publication called What is Blockchain 2.0 and Why Food Manufacturers Should Care. Ohio held a hearing this week on a bill that would allow the state to use distributed ledger technology, including blockchain. Massachusetts also has a hearing scheduled today to discuss a bill that would establish a blockchain commission focused on finding beneficial uses of blockchain technology for Massachusetts. But the coolest one is Hawaii's Digital Currency Lab, which announced NFT for Good initiative. Sounds pretty cool. It's a mixture of charity, but supporting artists and also beautifying local underserved neighborhoods. The regulator of the week is the U.S. Department of Justice, who has announced a new initiative to combat redlining. Redlining is a very scary practice of not lending to people based on race or national origin, which was institutionalized by the federal government during the New Deal era. The new initiative includes statistical analysis on loan data compared to the lender's rate of applications by zip code, analyzing differences in areas of minority concentration. It also includes looking at peer banks and their rates. The DOJ is also partnering with the CFPB and the OCC and has announced their first two settlements under this initiative. And speaking of settlements, in our very scary fine tracker this week, Credit Suisse is in the hot seat. Sorry, friends, $475 million, a dozen alerts from over 4 regulators last week alone. Not good. In Compliance Corner, LIBOR is ending. In case you missed it, still, last week the 5 major federal financial institution regulatory agencies, in conjunction with the state bank and state credit union regulators, emphasized again the expectation that supervised institutions with LIBOR exposure continue to progress towards an orderly transition away from LIBOR. Also, entirely unshocking, the FTC just released what they were saying is a must-read report outlining the privacy practices of 6 major ISPs. The conclusion is that they're taking in way more data than people realize and not offering any meaningful choice to consumers about how that data is used. Good morning, the United States. I think Europe has been freaking out about this for quite some time. Glad you're realizing it's an issue. Anyway, this plus a glorious letter to Facebook that came from the senators on the Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee, those were my favorites. This is what the letter said. Hey, Zuckerberg, you can't get your current beep under control, so stop the crypto launch immediately. See? Now you don't need to read the letter. You're welcome. Regulator Barbie. Another allegedly scary issue is that there is a dearth of new banks being formed. This was outlined in Federal Reserve Governor Michelle Bowman's speech. Also in speeches was Gary Gensler, the chair of the SEC, talking about innovation in Fintech. He said, and of course I'm summarizing, everyone probably wants me to talk about crypto, but much more important is machine learning and predictive analytics. I agree. We talk about crypto way more than we talk about AI, and I think that is going to be a real issue later. That's it this week for Regalytics. Have a very happy and safe Halloween, and I'll see you next Wednesday on LinkedIn and YouTube.